Hello, everybody, and welcome to this live public meeting on July 22nd, 2018. Today's meeting, we're going to be talking about the algo swap, which is imminent, moving to equihash 144.5, and then our difficulty algorithm is moving from DigiShield v3 to LVMA by Zowie, or Zowie's LVMA. We have a small discussion about ZelNodes, as well as the community discussion today. That's going to be at the end of this live meeting. And then we have new token listings to ZelTrez. That's been released, I guess, a day ago or two, a day ago. And then we also have the white paper v2 that was released, as well as ZelNode proposed numbers. So the algo swap to equihash 144.5 is going to happen in the next few hours. It seems like it's moving towards midnight now, maybe 2300 UTC. It's moving from equihash 209, so the standard equihash, to equihash 144.5, sometimes dubbed Zhash. We are working on different proof of work algorithms in the future. Some suggestions, PoW, etc. They are developing. By no means are we going to stay on equihash 144.5 for long, as we continue to try and aim for as much ASIC resistance as is possible. We also have the new difficulty algorithm, LVMA by Zowie. There's quite a few good resources and links to read up about that. And today, do you have the improvements over DigiShield v3? Is it 10 times quicker to respond or something like that?
Something like that. Maybe.
Yeah, it's around there in our testing. We'll see it on mainnet in a few hours. So mining software and any other information along with the anything you possibly need is at https://zel.cash/algoswap. And there's also a list of pools that are ready for the algo swap at the top of Discord. Some big names there, of course, cloud pools, coin blockers. But guys, remember, show some love to the smaller pools. We want to distribute the hash rate as much as possible. Current applications for ZelCash that we're filing is the we have filed are the Binance Round 8 community coin vote and info site. So working on getting listed on there, hopefully. And that's sort of the beginning steps of getting hopefully onto Binance in the not too distant future. We also CoinMarketCap removed their daily volume sort of cap, which had to be, you had to get 100K daily volume US to be listed. They've removed that. So we are working on getting a CoinMarketCap listing as well. As the constant, little ad, ZelTrez is looking for new tokens and coins to add. So quick turnaround, less than a week usually. So coin dev teams, or if you know a coin dev team that's looking for a wallet, reach out to them and they can get to us at a listing at ZelTrez.io or fill out the form at ZelTrez.io. We welcome in this week's edition of ZelTrez 5 new tokens. They are Go, Zilica, 0x, Golem, and Bat. And a little bird told me that there are more on the way. We are open to suggestions for ERC20 tokens and other coins, obviously. And we are going to, in the next few days, organize a vote site on ZelTrez.io, so some coins can get sort of community voting for a free listing potentially. Daniel, do you want to talk a little bit about Crypto CoinCon if you can?
Yeah, sure, Miles. So essentially, we are in the process of planning out our attendance to Crypto CoinCon. We do have Miles and myself as key speakers at the event. It is becoming a very popular event, and as a matter of fact, has been dubbed the Unconsensus. So everybody that is a Zel member or a Zel community member can use the code, I believe it's Zel45, to get $45 tickets to the event. Save your money. Don't spend $1,500 at consensus. Come to our event, and you can also participate in the first ever ZelCash meetup. So all of the key players in the ZelCash advisory role and dev team will be there, and we're looking forward to meeting lots of people while we're there as well.
Miles, you are muted.
Oh, sorry. I said also me and Daniel are going to be speaking at the keynote as well as a sort of meet and greet, just ZelCash meetup. I think a few other people are showing up, some crypto celebrities, I guess. So. We've also recently released the white paper V2. It's in draft form currently as we establish the economics behind ZelNodes. So give it a read. It's a few pages long, and let us know what you think. Any questions, bring them to Discord. As always, we are looking for translations for both Zel.cash, ZelTrez.io, ZelTrez itself, and the white paper. So bounties are available for those. Reach out to Parker/trial on Discord. Parker, if you want to talk a little bit about ZelNodes, that'd be great.
Sure. Just a quick reminder about what we went over during last meeting. I think a lot of people know that ZelNodes are coming, a big part of the ZelCash ecosystem. But recap is be a three-tiered system. ZelCash is going to be the collateral and also the incentivizer for the system. The ZelNodes network is basically just a large, scalable, decentralized network of computing power that will power things like decentralized apps. Examples of those are going to be apps that the ZelCash team builds, like Messenger, and then especially the ZelDex that we're going to be working on. Miles said in the beginning, but at the end of this meeting, we will have the community discussion that we've been talking about for the last few weeks. Hopefully people have had time to look at the Google Sheet calculator. It kind of lays out what all the inputs and outputs would be to figuring out what's a fair and balanced ecosystem for the ZelNode network, especially with the 3 tiers, which makes it a little bit more complicated than some previous successful node cryptocurrencies. So we will be discussing the inputs from this calculator, and for people that have looked at it or have any opinions, obviously we'd like you to talk about those in our community discussion in the next few minutes.
Thank you.
I would just, if I could just add a bit to that as well. So there has been a lot of questions specifically around the infrastructure requirements behind the nodes. So we have to remind everybody that for us to have a secure network that can validate the transactions and grow the system as we want, we need to make sure that infrastructure is sound and secure. So the requirements will be in place, and they will be validated. They will be checked. One of the questions that came up to me specifically was about the uptime. So we're saying 97% uptime. We don't know what the cycle is in terms of, we want to make sure that we incentivize the node ownership. We want to make sure that we're involving that aspect of it while also rewarding our miners. But we also have to make sure that those nodes stay up and they meet the criteria that we're putting forward for them.
Thank you. So here are the proposed numbers taken from the draft white paper, as well as the system specifications and hardware requirements as well. So these are going to be up for discussion in the next few minutes, I believe. So we have the Q&A/everyone join on the Hangouts and have a chat section of this, where we're going to be talking about the ZelNode's requirements and any other questions you guys have. So we're going to send this link out, I believe. I'll put it in YouTube and join. I think we'll be on for about 5 minutes, if nobody shows up, I guess. But yeah, it's been a 2-week notice regarding these. So we have a general Q&A, but the main topic is about ZelNodes.
So while we wait for people to join the discussion, I'll just start talking a little bit about how we came up with the proposed numbers that we published in the white paper. The first important, I guess, input to the calculator is the ratio of a block reward that PoW gets versus versus the ZelNode's network rewards. Right now, we're proposing 25% go to ZelNodes, 75% to miners. That will balance out to incentivize the node holders and then also keep PoW hashing, because we need that also to process all the transactions. That's adjustable in the future, only slightly if we need to. It won't be used kind of willy-nilly. It'll be used if we need to like raise or lower incentivization to be able to raise and lower the number of nodes that are needed for the network. The next big part is the rewards to the individual tiers of the nodes. The structure we came up with is a good balance between just theoretically what the calculator shows to provide these rewards to keep the nodes relatively stable and provide enough number of nodes for the decentralized network. It's also been pretty well vetted by Daniel or Agent Smith. Basically, he went through almost all the master node type projects, and especially the successful ones, most notably something like Dash, and tried to figure out what they did at the beginning and also forward looking, because of course a Dash node wasn't worth $250,000 in the beginning like it is now. So to be able to figure out those economics, we basically assume Zel will be at $1 in the near future to be able to make the numbers round and easy to work with in the calculator. So the short story is that is how we came up with the collateral and the rewards that we proposed in the white paper.
Yeah, and that's not anything unusual to the mining community. Essentially, the mining community is used to ROI numbers being pushed way into the future or then immediately realized. So I think that people that are going to understand as they come into node ownership, there is some sweat equity that's put into it in terms of resources that you need to provide. But the expectation is we're not going to stay at $1 or even $1. Our predictions were made at $1, but let's say it goes to $3 or $4 or $5, then node ownership is very, very profitable. So us in the mining world, we mine kind of at a loss sometimes to take larger positions, and I think that we're going to make sure that we incentivize node ownership somewhat like that as well.
Cool. So welcome to those that have joined us. If you want to start talking, guys, ask any questions you have or put forward some different node numbers to these, then please do. Anyone want any questions to say? Is this how just for using mic/voice for questions? Okay. Oh, hi, Andy. Oh, go on.
I got a question, Miles, specifically how we came up with these particular numbers. And these numbers were, as we released the sheet and we started to listen to the community, we kind of traced input from each person, and we actually kind of kept a little side sheet where we were jotting down what their projected numbers are. And we feel that these numbers are right in the sweet spot. We understand that not everybody can have, a Banff node or or even the next level down. But I think there is the incentive to get if you have, let's say, a smaller node and you want to get to the next level, there's incentive to get there. So I think the numbers are very solid. We've ran them many times, compared them to multiple projects, ones that are actually functioning and working as they're supposed to. And I think these are right in line with them. And I think we're really looking long-term economic model here. It would be very short-sighted for us to base it on the current price of Zel, and try to scale something that was a profitable today, say if you created the lower tier node. So we have to look long-term, and ultimately it's not an unusual process. As miners, we kind of do that. So that's where we came up with the numbers. I think you're muted, Miles.
No, I'm just reading, seeing if anyone's.
There is a question on YouTube about storage space size of the required VPS, asking specifically the 600 gigabyte SSD, which is not a typical size.
So we went off an average of VPS providers and sort of the storage amounts they require. We could adjust that up or down, probably 500 or 750. But yeah, that's where that number came from.
Another question from Tampa, Adam. Will storage be used? Yes, the storage will be used. That is why we were requiring a set size, because that will be the maximum that you would be required to store. But it's not just a random number. There will be a fair amount of data going in and out of the VPS or server. And again, you'll kind of see that with the bandwidth requirements. They're relatively high. Compared to, like, say, just a transaction-only coin, with the multiple side chains and processing and storage, all that will be used in the future, and that's why the requirements are relatively high for the requirements for the system.
Yep. Expecting a few more voices on here. To clarify from previous discussions, the 8-core requirement versus the 4-core requirement, has that been decided? I think so. I think we're feeling the 8-core is going to be a better option, and it's not going to be. So the way we're going to verify this will be through benchmarks. So it wouldn't be, for example, a user with a AMD Opteron from many years gone by. That wouldn't meet the specifications. So we're going to try and clarify specifications a bit more now that we have these out there. We're going to sort of double down on exactly sort of what we're talking about, what sort of requirements are needed. Hangouts is capped at 10. Okay. Should we try and move to Google Meets? So if we take this down and throw another one up, then I'm not sure if we can live stream that one though. You want to throw Google Meets out there, and that should have about 25 people on it.
Yeah, I'll make one right now, and we can see what happens.
Great. I'm not sure if we can stream that one though, so we'll throw that out there, and maybe some people can come on and actually talk. I was expecting someone to bring a whole paper out on why their economic structure was better than ours. All Right, I think we'll move over to Google Meets. So thank you everybody for joining us on this live team meeting and small Q&A discussion. I'm gonna have to move off the stream to Google Meets because Hangouts is capped at 10, and I'm not sure if we can actually live stream Google Meets yet. So we're going, and we'll see you there. Thank you.